Well, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. We're on this workshop of why Credhub, and we're kind of analyzing different reporting services so that we can figure out which one is the right one. And we're kind of going through learning some terms to make sure we have the language the same and we're on the same understanding. Okay, so we said in the beginning, one is partial reporting. That's positive only. Okay, that's kind of what Pinata does. It's what Folio does. And full reporting, which is kind of what Credhub does. Okay, so the myth that we talked about is all reporting services basically do the same thing, right? And what you're going to see is as we go through these, no, they're not all doing the same thing. Which one is doing the better thing? Which one can make me a lot of money? So now number 3 we're into is automated versus manual. Now, it's really important that you have fully automated. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk first about specific companies. We're going to get down the weeds, name names. I'm going to describe to you different companies and how they operate on this issue of fully automated or manual. Okay? Let's look at AppFolio. The cool thing about AppFolio, and boy, they figured this out early. AppFolio is one of by far my favorite software out there. Well, there's another one that's, just as good, and that's Redpine, but that's another conversation. So anyway, in AppFolio, if you're an AppFolio user, you can click a button globally and have all your tenants reported to the credit bureau. Okay? Well, not all your tenants. Only the tenants that have a zero balance on their tenant ledger on the 20th of the month. In other words, if you got 500 doors and 100 doors owe you money, unpaid late fees, bounce check charges, post move out money, whatever, those aren't being reported to the credit bureau under AppFolio. It's a global system, it's fully automatic, and it's positive only reporting. Okay? Pinata is the same thing. Now, Pinata is a little more confusing, so let me give you the forensics. With Pinata, they reach into your database every month. They pull everybody with a zero balance on their tenant ledger. Fully automated, they report it to the credit bureau. Makes your tenants really happy. It's just that the other 100 tenants that owe you unpaid charges on their tenant ledger, they don't get reported. Now, Pinata will say, we do positive and negative reporting. And so when you listen to their sales pitch, they say, positive and negative reporting. It sounds like full reporting. Problem is, when you take the idea of fully automated and full reporting with Pinata, they don't connect. Here's why. For those people who need a negative mark on their credit, let's say you got 500 doors, 100 of them owe you money, and you take one of them, you say, you gotta ask, you send them an email, I want to report Larry Smith to the credit bureau negative because he owes $1,000. Okay, you can do that on one tenant. They will send you a 4-page form. They sent it to me. They're very kind, good people. That 4-page form, I have to fill out by hand. It's not on their website. It's not a form on their website. You have to fill it out by hand. The tenant's name, when they moved in, how much rent they owe, blah, blah, blah. Including questions like, does this tenant qualify for rent subsidies from a local charity? I don't know how I would know that, but that's on their form. Then you have to print a tenant ledger and put it with it and scan it back to Pinata. You're going to do that like late in the month. Now, when Pinata gets it, either a person or a committee has to sit down, look at your claim, and decide if it's true. Yeah. And then, if they like it, they'll report it to the credit bureau 60 days after the rent was due. Now, that is negative reporting, isn't it? But it's not fully automated. Now, think about this. If you got 500 doors and you got 100 people that owe you money on current tenants, you got to fill out 100 of those forms. And then guess what you got to do next month if you want that tenant reported again? Yeah, you got to take that form and fill it out 100 more times. So, yes, Pinata does negative and positive reporting. They just don't do it fully automated. Now, that's really important for you to understand because there's a lot of disinformation going on out there in the credit reporting platform community. You need to know, you need to dig down and ask tough questions. Yes, Pinata does full reporting, fully automated. Not full, I'm sorry. Positive only, fully automated every month. And you're never going to get a call from a tenant mad because you're not hurting anybody's tenant score or credit score. If you want to report somebody negative, you got to do it one tenant at a time. Okay? That's the truth. Now, there's another one, BoomPay. I can't tell you about BoomPay in that area. They won't answer that question. So they're brand new in this space, okay? And we'll have to kind of drill down and say, is this fully automated? Might be, might not be. Spurlonga is not fully automated. You know why? They only have an API into one property management software company. That means if you're not with that particular software company, you're with one of the others that are out there, you as the manager have to initiate it every month. You have to send all your data on all your tenants to Spurlonga, and Spurlonga then moves it around and manipulates it into their system and reports it to the credit bureau. It's fully manual. Now, we did manual back in the decades when we were doing it with Equifax. We had to manage a spreadsheet, and every month we had to delete all the people that moved out, add all the people that moved in. It would take Denise about a half a day on 300 doors to do that manual system. You do not want to do this manually. Spurlonga is not going to help you there, okay? Now, Credhub is just the opposite. Credhub does fully automated, positive and negative. You don't have to do anything. You set a time of the month, 20th of the month. They go in and grab the fields, and they are fully automated. Now, I'm gonna get you a testimony in just a minute because this is a big deal, okay? Why is fully automated important? Okay, here's the answer. If it's manual, it's not scalable. Yeah, when we did it, we just invested a ton of staff time in making it work. You don't have that kind of time. You want to scale, you want to get to 300, 500,000, 2,000, 5,000 doors. You can't be doing this manually. It doesn't work. So if you want fully automated, positive and negative, okay, need to go with Credhub. There's no other choice. Now, I'm going to give you a quick description of how the system works. I kind of think this graphic's pretty cool. So here's the credit bureau. Okay, here's Equifax, right? TransUnion. Here's Credhub. They have an agreement. They've established an agreement. Okay. Then here's the property manager, and you get an agreement between the property manager and Credhub. The property manager has a database of tenants. Might be Amfolio, might be Rentvine, might be Billium. There's all kinds of them out there, right? There's so many of them, I can't burp them out quickly enough. So around the 20th of the month, or whatever day of the month you want it to be, Credhub pulls that data out, about 8 fields. They don't need all the data. They just need the ones necessary to report to the credit bureau, just like Visa and MasterCard do. Then Credit sends you a spreadsheet. Now, the spreadsheet will give you a chance to override anything on the report, and it just takes a few minutes. Listen carefully. Once you submit that, then that report goes to the credit bureau and begins affecting your credit score. It's that clean and simple. Now, I don't want to tell you. I want to let somebody who's used it tell you. Here is Diana Kellogg with AHA Properties. Now, most of you know in this industry, that's Brian Jenkins, right? And this was done about 3 years ago before they sold out to Pure. So this is kind of an old video. And they had about 1,100 doors at this time, and they connected with Credhub. We introduced them to Credhub and got them help up and running. Here is Diana Kellogg's testimony. When my company decided to use Credhub, I was initially concerned about the amount of time I would be spending reporting, as I didn't have much time to spare. Now, that's what I hear from a lot of managers. Robert, how much time is this going to take me or my staff? Now, follow along. I was pleasantly surprised to find that it only takes me about, now look at this, 10 minutes a month to audit their reports. The portal is very user-friendly and easy to navigate. The Credhub staff is amazing. They are professional and always quick to respond. Now, this is, again, about 3 years ago. This is December 2024, so this was way back a ways, okay? But here's what she's saying. It took me 10 minutes a month on over 1,000 doors. So if you got 5,000 doors, it might take you an hour and a half for one staff person to receive this spreadsheet, do a little audit, and then send it to the credit bureau. So remember, if it's manual, it's not scalable, and you're not going to be able to grow your company on any other platform except for Credhub. So if you're kind of at the point of saying, Robert, I don't need to hear anymore, let me connect with Credhub and start the process. Here's how you do it. You can go to our website and fill out a form. You can go directly to one of the owners of the company. This is Steve Jarvis, sjarvis@credhub.com. Get your cell phone out, take a picture. Now, if you want to partner with us to help you implement it, here's my email, robert@emailcrown.com. Take a picture of that. We'll throw it out there again. We'll keep going. Watch for the next video. Thanks.